Coach Dustin, and we're going to be answering some of your questions today.
So the first question is, how did you all meet?
I was on the cheerleading team at Florida State, and Dustin came for a stunt clinic.
I came in 2007, I believe it was. I did the stunt clinic, went to the spring game after, tried out, made the team, and then we were teammates for 3 years, roommates for 3 years, and then in 2013 we opened the gym.
So the second question is, what made each of you get into cheerleading?
I did gymnastics when I was younger, and then after that I did swimming and soccer, and then I just found out that those sports weren't for me. And then around 10th grade, a couple of my friends asked me to try out for cheerleading because I could tumble, and that's how I got into cheerleading. I tried out at Florida State, as you all know.
Yeah, two of my friends growing up needed a stunt partner, so I learned to toss them around a little bit, and then I ended up falling in love with cheerleading. Then I joined an all-star program, and then to help my mom pay for it, I decided to be a coach at the gym as well to help with that. So, and then I came and cheered in college for a year or 4 years after doing the marching band actually at Florida State. I was a more music involved kid, but then I got to college and decided it was time to cheer.
The third question is, who was or still is your cheer inspiration?
I really aspired to like Victor Rosario, because growing up down south, I did a lot of traveling to Top Gun growing up, and we, saw stunt clinics there and stuff, and just to see him and his mannerisms with his team, and he always produces a great product. So he's just someone that I really, have high respect for in cheerleading.
I didn't necessarily have a cheer inspiration growing up or aspire to be anyone because the all-star world where I grew up was pretty much non-existent. But now it's not really someone that I aspire to be. It's someone that I think is a really good leader in this industry. It's just the girl from the meme, Ryan Cummings. I love her, and I think she's a good inspiration for the kids to look up to. I think that she gives a lot of hope to a lot of people because she's not your average flyer for that. So she gives a lot of hope to taller girls and stuff like that. So I really love her. I like her.
The fourth question is, where did the idea for Cheer Nation originate from?
So me and Dustin always worked cheerleading camps and taught camps all over and worked at different gyms. And we did a camp here in Tallahassee at Cheerco. And after doing that camp, we just saw that there was a need for a gym in Tallahassee other than Cheerco. Not that Cheerco was bad, it wasn't heading up in the same direction as the all-star cheer industry, and we just felt we needed to get behind a program and start doing that.
And I had a job working for a project management company to where my boss said that I could dedicate 80% of my time to his company and then 20% of my time to like a business venture of my own, and he would be the umbrella company. And so that's what really got me and Dana talking, and we got a business plan together, and then we presented it, and then on my end, that venture fell through, or that offer fell through, but we had already put so much work into it to where my dad got behind it, a lot of other investors got behind it, and so that's how Cheer Nation was able to be founded, was that we put a lot of the footwork in off of the offer that was offered from my company that fell through, and then people who believed in us jumped behind us and then helped us found the business in February of 2013.
The next question is, what is your favorite competition?
Ooh, my favorite competition, hands down, is NCAA. Growing up in the all-star cheerleading world down in Key West, going to NCAA was always a thought, but something that we knew we probably would never do. Even in having the gym the first few years, we were just kind of scared of NCAA. So finally, once we did get to go and see the lights and perform there, and then we also won our first year there, it just made it one of those things that it's like a dream come true for sure. So yeah, definitely NCAA.
NCAA is one of my favorite competitions, but also Battle of the Big Top. It's like where you get to see everyone for the first time, kind of, especially on the East Coast, because you have like Top Gun, either Large Co-Ed comes or Lady Jags come. You have Peach and Orange there, and all the big teams you get to kind of see just like a glimpse of them, as well as kind of like that's your program's first time competing against like the Eastern Seaboard, because you have South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, some from Alabama, some from Louisiana. So I feel like it really just brings together the all-star community on our coast for the first time of the season. You get to kind of see what everyone is looking like, and then you kind of know what you got to work on after the new year.
The next question is, how do I sign up?
So you can, there's two ways. You can sign up through emailing info@cheernationathletics.com, and Coach Taylor will respond with you on instructions on how to sign up, or you can go to cheernationathletics.com, click on register now, and it'll walk you through the whole class or the whole process. You can register through our iClass portal. You can fill out all the forms, and then when you come in, you're already good to go. And you'll just see Taylor at the front office, and then she'll direct you to the class, and then you get a free trial the first time, so you don't have to pay anything to come try out the class. And then after that, if you like it, we can get you signed up, pay the registration fee, and then get you signed up for the monthly classes.
The next question is, has COVID-19 changed the season? If so, how?
It's definitely changed it. We now have to practice in masks. That's been a challenge because
Definitely a different challenge.
With anything, if you restrict your breathing and you're constantly lifting people above your head and tumbling, and for those of you who have done a 2 minute and 30-second routine, you know how much breathing goes into that. So we're putting a mask over your face and trying to do that, that's extremely hard.
It adds a whole nother element, outside of the cheerleading factor of practicing.
Exactly. And so as far as changing the competition season, I would say it hasn't canceled any of our competitions right now. I know that there was a tweet that went out by Cheer Updates that kind of misled people in a direction, thinking that all live events have been canceled for 2020, and that's untrue. Our events have not been canceled. There was a list that came out of events that were canceled, and none of ours, as far as Double Down or Battle, were on that list. So I feel like if anything does come about of that, it'll be a virtual season for the remainder of 2020. But I do think the way that they did UCA when all the coronavirus first hit, where it was just the team performing, the judges, and that team's spectators, I think that's what we might see worst case in 2021. But I do think that there will be a competition season. I do think that we will be able to go to events and stuff like that. So it has changed it, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
Where do you all see the program in 5 years?
Honestly, 5 years is a lot of time in the cheerleading gym. Going back to what we've done in the past 8 years, I just can't imagine, where we'll be in 5 years, truly. I think for sure by then we'll have a world's team. Mm-hmm. Our level 5 team will have been around for a few years at that point. I think that we'll actually probably be able to have a lower level, high level team, if that makes sense, by that point. And I think obviously us being D2 won't be a thing in 5 years. Mm-hmm. But part of the growth is, leaving from going from D2 to D1. So I think in 5 years we'll definitely be there. And hopefully our name will be, up next to the Stingrays and Top Guns and those teams that are doing that in the D1 category.
Yeah, definitely a world's team. I see us, as he said, getting out of the D2 category. I see us possibly in a different location here in Tallahassee. Where we are now is just kind of restrictive as far as what we can offer. And if everything goes to plan, I do see us being in a different location in 5 years. So that's something to look forward to. And I see us just growing as just an overall business. As far as what we can get back to Tallahassee, and not only just all-star as far as rec, tumbling, high school cheer, all-star cheer, everything. I think we can just grow and hopefully monopolize Tallahassee.
The next question is, what is the easiest and hardest part about being gym owners?
I think the easiest part is going to work, because it's something that we love to do. Coaching, cheerleading, being in the gym is what we like to do. So going to work is the easiest part. The hardest part is building the kids, building the routines. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of pressure. As owners of the gym who coach with our staff, we have to hold ourselves to the same standard, as our staff. So just making sure that we're on top of our game all the time with growing the athletes, growing their routines, and just, building the product from the bottom to the top. It's tough, but because we love the sport, it makes it easy.
Yeah. Kind of piggybacking off of him, the easiest part for me is coaching. Again, something I love to do. I love to see the kids get better. And then the relationships that you build with the kids throughout the time that you coach them, whether it's a year, or whether it's their entire cheerleading career, like that's a special part. And that's my favorite part. As far as the hardest thing, that for me would probably be the finances. It's just you want a lot of things that your checkbook can't afford in the beginning and years after. So we've learned a lot of things over these last couple of years, and so that the finances and the business, running it is the hardest part, truly.
The next question is, did you always see yourself owning a cheerleading gym?
I did not. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer at first, and so I kind of went down that road for a little bit. But it's kind of true to fact, everything comes to fruition when you just let things fall into place. I was in the right place at the right time, and then it is my passion. I love doing this. I love the kids. I love the aspect of it, and it takes a special type of mindset to get up and do 5:30 to 10 o'clock every night of the week. It's not for just anyone. So you have to truly love what you're doing to dedicate that time to that type of work. So even though I didn't see myself doing it, I come to find out that I love doing it. So
I was a coach in my all-star gym growing up at a very young age, and I always enjoyed the gym side of it, the t-shirts and the traveling and the planning the trips and all stuff like that. So I had it in my head that I was going to own a gym one day. I posted a photo that I drew years ago, and it was that I wanted to own a cheerleading gym by the time I was 25. And we bought the gym 1 month and 22 days before I turned 25. So it's just, it's one of those things that I'm glad actually happened. My mom talked about it growing up, about me always wanting to be involved with the gym, so I'm glad it actually happened.
What makes CNA a D2 program?
A D2 program is defined by the number of athletes in your program. So 125 and below becomes D2, and 125 and above becomes D1. So it's not a skill thing, it's just the number of athletes in your program who compete.
And again, like you said, as far as skill level, last year, one of our teams, even though we were a D2 program, we had to compete, or two of our teams actually had to compete in the D1 category because there were no D2 teams to compete against. And one of those teams ended up winning that division, and the other one ended up 3rd out of 8 in their division. So again, it's not about skill level, it's just truly the size of your program when it's put up against the size of other programs. So you might have a team or a program that has 800 kids, and then you have a program like us who has 114 kids. So that's just giving a category to where you compete against gyms similar size.
When is Coach Lewis coming back?
Coach Lewis is coming back the last week of September for Fluff and Dance, and he may be back before then, but you never know. But yeah, the last week of September. And then there are times throughout the year, and you will never know, because we can't let the cat out of the bag, that he will just pop up and be at the gym because he will be spending more time here in Tallahassee.
And even though he's not here all the time, he sees you guys all the time.
All the time.
We send video footage to Coach Lewis, and he guides us through our routines, making sure that we're on the right page, and that things are just going how they should go. So he's involved all the time.
So here we are, the final and most asked question. What does our new uniform look like?
Our new uniform is a tribute to the past, honestly, is one of our clues. Years ago, we had a uniform. We haven't been that uniform color since then, but now we're going back to that color. So maybe that's a good clue for you, one clue for you.
And we also kept all of our uniforms that have the globe on the back, so the globe is still there, and that's another clue. But the prototype will be here soon, so we'll get a cheerleader to take some pictures in that, and it will be released on social media very soon.
We're the owners of Cheer Nation Athletics.
And you're watching the Cheer Nation channel.